Hey everybody, it's Brooks here, Senior Pastor, First Baptist Church of the Islands. Thank you for joining me for today's Monday Focus. So I want to talk to you today about something that I would consider to be glue in our Christian lives. Now, there are a lot of things that could fit that category. I mean, you could say forgiveness and grace and God's mercy, God's blessing. Those are all, in a lot of ways glue in our Christian relationship. But, I want to kind of shift the gears and talk about something else that I would say very much so is like a glue in our Christian relationships, in our Christian lives and Christian walks. I want to show you this real quickly. This is what's called puzzle glue, and we use this in our family whenever we put together a puzzle, usually at Christmas time, and after we finally complete it, we'll smather this thing in glue and hold it together, and then we'll put it in a frame and break it out the next year. And it's that glue that holds all the components, all those pieces, usually 1,000 of them, together. And it's vital. Without that puzzle's not going to stay together. Well, in a lot of ways, I think fellowship is that glue in our Christian lives as well, specifically our fellowship with one another. Obviously, we're only made Christians when we have fellowship with God through Jesus. We understand that. But in a lot of ways, our Christian lives can kind of dry up, and we can come to a real place of discouragement if we are out of fellowship with other believers. 1 John chapter 1, verse 3, it says, "What we have seen and heard, we proclaim to you also, so that you too may have fellowship with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ." See, in 1 John there, John is writing about two types of fellowship, that horizontal, or rather that vertical fellowship between us and the Lord that comes through a relationship with Christ. But he's also talking about that horizontal fellowship between one another, between us and other Christians specifically. And that fellowship can be described simply as a relationship that is mutually beneficial for both sides, right? It's a relationship that's as beneficial for me as it is for you. And that's what fellowship is. Christian fellowship is unlike any other fellowship because it's rooted in the common thread of a relationship with Christ. And so I just want to really ask you today, how is your fellowship? How's your Christian fellowship? How are you in regards to your engagement with other Christians? Because in a lot of ways, it's a glue in your Christian walk. It's so easy to become discouraged and to become down and out in a lot of ways spiritually. We just sometimes may want to even give up if we're in isolation from other Christians. But what we find is when we're in fellowship with other Christians, we have encouragement, right? We have support. We're built up, and those are all important aspects of our walks with God. We live in a hard world, and we need to be in fellowship with one another. Ironically, we have an event coming this Sunday evening called Pumpkin Fest, right? It's just a simple fellowship event. It's all it is, something to facilitate fellowship in our lives. Fellowship can't be relegated to events. It's something that's ongoing, but this is something to help spur that fellowship on and provide a platform for us to be able to engage in fellowship with one another. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you can plan to come. That's going to be this coming Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. outside in the grass field at our church. But again, fellowship can't be relegated to special events. It has to be ongoing. And a lot of what we do in our church is to help facilitate that, especially in our small groups. And so would love for you to be a part. What can you do this week to facilitate fellowship? Take that step. We hope you have a great week. God bless you.